Good evening. I'd like to bring this meeting of the Commission, Placer County Parks Commission, to order. Today's date is May 16th. Let's see. Would like to start off with a flag salute. Mr. Carr.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Dina, would you do a roll call, please?
Carpenter?
Here?
David Cook?
He's absent. Burge Anderson,
Here.
James Ricker, John Bergman. He's virtual. And Jeremy McCollum.
What happened to Dave? He
He
decided to just do the tour and
yeah, he wanted to do the tour, and then he had some.
Okay. All right, you have the agenda in front of you. Any comments on the agenda? Any changes anybody sees? If there's no changes or alterations, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the meeting minute or the agenda?
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is accepted. We have the minutes of our last meeting. Is there any corrections? If there's no corrections,
I move that we approve the minutes from the March 21st, 2024 meeting.
I second it.
it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, please file those.
I do.
Okay. We're moving on to the public comment period. During this item, the public may address the commission on items that are not on the agenda. This public comment period is limited to 15 minutes, so please limit comments to 3 minutes per person. If all comments cannot be heard within the 15-minute time limit, the public comment period will be taken up again at the end of the regular meeting. The commission is not allowed to or permitted to take any action on items addressed under this item. So at this time, is there any members of the public that would like to make a comment? Address the commission? See anybody online? Okay, then we are going to move on to item number 6, report from the administrator. Lisa, do you know who's giving that report?
Yes, that would be me. I'm the administrator for today. Welcome. Most of this report here is going to be on our personnel. In fact, all of it is, as most of you heard, but for the rest of the folks in the staff, we are having some personnel changes, starting with Kaylin. She is our accounting tech, and she has accepted a promotion in HHS, and we're going to miss the heck out of her, but we wish her well. And yeah, this is her absolute last day with us. So thank you, Kaylin, for everything you did for us. And you're welcome back anytime. If they don't treat you well, come back. Second, Alex Fish, who you met last time, was principal planner for 2 weeks for us, and then he went back to planning. So we are currently recruiting for a principal planner. It closes tomorrow, and they should be having interviews shortly,
Okay.
within a week or two. And last but not least, our fearless leader, Andy Fisher, he has officially announced his resignation, his retirement, not resignation. Woo! His retirement, and he will be heading out November 30th.
Okay.
So,
We will be sorry to see him go.
absolutely, absolutely. And that is all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Move on to 7. We have 3 action items for tonight.
Did we miss something? We didn't do the park fee update?
Oh,
Part-
excuse
part of
me.
it? Okay. So part 2
Thank you.
is wanted to bring your attention to the park fee update chart that was placed on top of your packet, so you can ignore the one that was in your, oh, okay, thank you. So the one that's in your packet is what is shown up here, and I did want to bring attention to the fact that the area number 1, the North Auburn and Martis Valley, the North Star Community Services District did just open up bids for the Martis Valley Trail 3F. And unfortunately, the bids came in at a little bit over 1.6 million over the, what we thought it was going to be. So they are going to be looking for additional funding in, gonna go beat the bushes, TOT funding, transient occupancy tax, but we may be coming back, because we do have a valid bid. We're gonna have to look into it, but it may be, because we have a very limited time that we can exercise that bid, otherwise they can just say, okay, they're off the hook and they don't have to honor that bid. It may be the decision to move forward, to go to the board to ask for more park dead fee funds out of that number 1 account. And we wouldn't have time to come back to the Parks Commission, so we'd likely just have to go straight to the board. So I just wanted to give you the heads up on that. I don't know that's all the details I know at this point, but no.
And this is for the Martis Trail,
Yes.
to go what, up to the Brockway Summit or something?
No, it's actually to go up into North Star itself.
Oh, into North Star, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's section 3F, so it would go up North Star Drive, up in there.
Okay, thanks.
And that's the end of my report. Now it is officially the
Okay,
end.
now we can move on to
Now you can
action
move-
items, of which there
yes.
are 3. All right. The first one, we're going to invite Sean Johnson to come on up and talk about the park dedication fee request for the Tahoe City PUD and the Tahoe XC Lodge project. Sean?
Thank you. Sean Johnson with Parks. I'm here to speak with the Tahoe XC Lodge project. So we have a couple people. This is kind of a co-project between Tahoe XC Lodge and North Tahoe PUD. On Zoom, we have Kim Boyd from the North Tahoe PUD. Kim, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great.
Go right ahead.
Okay, you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome.
Awesome. Okay, well, good evening, commission members. My name is Kim Boyd. I'm the Director of Strategic Affairs for the Tahoe City Public Utility District. And I want to say that the TCPUD is pleased to submit this application on behalf of the Tahoe Cross Country Ski Education Association. And I just wanted to provide a little bit of background. The association has operated the cross-country ski area and lodge on TCPUD property for over 25 years under a concession agreement with TCPUD. With that, the association promotes TCPUD's mission of providing parks and recreation services to enhance the quality of life in North Tahoe. And TCPUD supports the association's trail stewardship by managing operating agreements with the California State Parks and California Tahoe Conservancy to ensure a well-maintained public trail system is available to the public year-round. In terms of the project, beginning in 2015, the TCPUD Board of Directors formalized their support of the project by adopting a resolution to support the location of the project on the TCPUD Highlands property. Additionally, in 2018, TCPUD assumed the lead agency role in the CEQA process. And in 2021, the TCPUD board certified a CEQA environmental impact report. Currently, the TCPUD is undertaking a land exchange with the California Tahoe Conservancy to secure property needed for this project. And over the past few years, TCPUD has provided multiple resolutions and letters in support of funding requests prepared by the association. To date, TCPUD has provided over $508,000 towards the development of the project. And finally, in 2024, the TCPUD board signed a letter of intent to enter into a funding agreement which commits the TCPUD to providing project funding in the amount of $2.5 million across 3 phases of continued project development. And so with that, I'll take any questions that you may have, or I can pass this on to Sue Ray with the association.
Questions from the commission? Okay, go ahead and pass it on to the next person. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Sue Ray Ireland. I am on the board at Tahoe Cross Country Ski Education Association, and I'm also the financial manager of the Lodge project as the board member on the project team. Our association is a 501c3, and we were established in 1999 and became the concession operator for TCPUD on the Highlands property, primarily to secure affordable access to cross-country skiing, which had been ongoing there since 1975. Over the years, our nonprofit mission and vision have grown to incorporate, oh, great, thank you. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, let me, actually, why don't you go back? And I will orient you a little bit. This is the Highlands neighborhood. This is the area we're talking about. Our current facility is in the red. It was built in the 70s as a clubhouse for a golf course that was graded there. And I think it was built like over a weekend or something because it, on these big winter years, we have volunteers up there shoveling the snow off so the building doesn't fall over. The new location is right next to the high school. So, and I'll fill you in on more project details as I go. Why don't you go on here? Yeah, this is our mission and vision. We grew from just cross-country skiing, starting around the 4-year drought that we had without much cross-country skiing opportunities. And we started to provide year-round recreation services to the backcountry trails that were in the area, as well as an increasing emphasis on supporting healthy interactions between people and our connections to one another and to nature, which has become an increasing emphasis of our nonprofit based on where we are. Next slide, please. This slide illustrates the growth in our programs over time. When we started, we had 270 children involved in our very first youth program. And we have and this year, over 2,000, not just youth, but youth and adults in all of our programs. But what this shows is how strong our youth programs are. That is the bright blue is wintertime youth programs, and the gray is our summer programs. That is everything from our flagship program, Strider Gliders, which is an after-school program teaching elementary kids how to ski, up through our support of the middle and high school teams. We offer free skiing for schools. Everyone in our school district has an opportunity to come, and we give them all the equipment they need, and their class gets a free day, a free ski day. We have free skiing for families. Those children that we introduce to skiing through free skiing for schools, they can bring their families back. And in this way, we are introducing families to outdoor winter activities that don't maybe have a strong cultural connection to cross-country skiing or financial access to skiing. And so we give the day pass as well as the equipment for free skiing for families. In the summertime, we have a junior mountain rider program, which is teaching kids how to mountain bike safely and respectfully in the backcountry. What this shows is that our facility, which was undersized in 1999 when we first took it over, when we had 270, is just bursting at the seams right now, and that has stimulated our interest in a project that can serve the users that we have. Next slide, please. So who is it that uses our facility? The best data that we have is winter data. What this shows is the residency of season pass holders for cross-country skiing. And what it shows is that the entire resort triangle is represented among our season pass holders. From Tahoe City, the West Shore, all the way around the North Shore, the valleys, Olympic and Alpine, as well as Truckee. In that seasonal resident and out-of-area percentage, we know that there is a lot of folks from this side of the county that still have season passes. If they have a second home in Tahoe, they often will get a season pass with us, as well. And those second homes are spread throughout our region as well. And the people that own those homes are from all over, but including this side of the county. Next slide, please. The project, let me tell you a little bit about the project. In 2015, the new owner of the historic Schilling-Pennoyer home was given permission to tear the home down from where it existed down on Rubicon Bay. And he was given permission, he and his wife, to take what remained of the house to the landfill. But he did not want to do that. And so he started talking to TCPUD as well as some other entities in North Tahoe about donating the house for public use. And we stepped up with support from our partners at TCPUD and said, this wonderful home is the perfect building for how warm and welcoming we want our new center to be. And so the property owner donated the standing home, paid to have it professionally deconstructed, piece by piece. It has been sitting ever since in a lot of boxes in a warehouse in Verdi, and we have been working ever since to get to the place where we can reconstruct it at our new site, expand it so that we have enough functional space. There's a basement underneath, and be able to reuse this amazingly.
Okay, awesome. How did the opening go? It went well.
Amazingly wonderful home. The owners, the original owners, the Schilling family have been involved in our project, and they are thrilled that their family home can be repurposed and used as a home for recreationists in North Tahoe too. It's a new location, and we will have adequate parking. Right now, our parking overflows into the neighborhood. The new building is sized correctly for the community use that we have. It's warm and welcoming, and although we have all of the building material from this historic home. We have the exterior siding and all of the paneling on the inside. We have the stones for the fireplaces. We have the mantles for the fireplaces. We have the doors. We have the hardware, the doorknobs. we have all of that, but that's going to be hung on a new state-of-the-art, energy-efficient building. And so, although it is, that allows us to avoid some of the greatly increased costs that sometimes come with rehabbing a standing historic structure, because we're going to build from the ground up, and then we are going to reuse all of these building materials in the same configuration as was in the original house for the most part. Our project budget is $15 million, which is not a small number for us. We have, that includes a bunch of different categories here, including the cost of fundraising. We have, since we began in 2021 on our capital campaign, we have raised and spent $1.2 million to get to this point. That is a lot of the project fees that we have to pay. That is a lot, the final design and marching through the process. We expect to be able to initiate site features, some of the early site work this fall. We have, of this 15 million, we have raised 6 million of it so far. We have several grant applications out, including this request to you for $250,000, as well as a rigorous private campaign. We have very recently received a $1 million challenge match pledge from a single person, and we are working to meet the challenge there, which will bring another 4 million. Or a total of 4 million. So we're really excited about where we are in the process. Our agreement with TCPUD requires the 3 phases of our project, each phase to be fully funded before we can initiate work on that phase. And so our phase 1, we expect to have completely funded to allow us to initiate site work this fall. Next slide, please. So the park dedication fee request we're making of you today is to help us with those phase 1 activities. What we will achieve with phase 1 is relocating the trailhead from kind of the middle of the neighborhood to the edge of the neighborhood. This phase 1 activities will be initial site work, utility work, establishing the parking lot and the driveway. We have a shared parking agreement with the school district for the high school next door, so that our overflow can go onto the school site when school is not in session, and the big events at the school can overflow into our parking lot. Again, reducing the impacts on the neighbors, so that we will, finally have enough parking for everybody in this neighborhood. So the specific request here is to help with the primary establishment of that new trailhead location. The initial grading and the first lift paving for that, for the trailhead. That contributes to the rest of the phase 1 activities, which are funded by others. And then, of course, after phase 1, we expect to go right into structure construction, which is phase 2. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them about the project or the costs or our process. Yes.
So you'll be building a completely new structure, and you'll take the existing lodge and just burn it or whatever?
Oh, no.
You can use some of it?
I'm sorry. Where we are now is a TCPUD building.
Oh, okay.
And the parking lot that is associated with it, there are 43 parking spaces there. That is a TCPUD parking lot.
Okay.
We have been a concessionaire operating out of there.
I got you.
And the PUD has not made a determination of exactly what will happen next there, but they have several options, and I'm sure Kim can address that.
So you're
if you
just
have
moving more. out of there to a new
We're moving out
facility.
of there, correct. Yeah.
And then the other question is, as I was reading in the Placer County little newsletter, that you've already gotten a grant from the county for Phase 2?
We have a portion of Phase 2.
Right,
Yes,
there's a
the-
big one that they divvied up to several.
Yes, yes.
And so that's here on the thing that said structural, all a part of Phase 2 and 3.
Is Phase 2,
Okay,
correct?
thank
Yeah.
you.
And any questions? Any questions?
I have a question.
Sure, John, go ahead.
Hi, Sue. This is John Bergman.
John.
In the interim, after Phase 1 site work gets done, will you be open next winter and with subsequent winters until final construction utilizing the old facility?
We will. One of the advantages of building a new facility near the high school is that it doesn't affect our operations, our winter or summer operations, as we're in this construction phase. So we will be completely open.
Great. And the new land that is now affiliated to bump up the acreage to, I think, 58 total acres by virtue of
The land exchange, yeah.
the land exchange. Will that enhance trail quantity or distances?
Our trail system will not alter in any way, actually. There's a trail we groom that goes directly to this site. We don't expect to increase trail length at all.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody in the audience that have questions? And then, Dina, is there anybody online that might have questions? Okay. Kim, do you have anything else? Kim, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't. Just thank you very much for allowing us to present today.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to say that I apologize to Kim. I kept saying North Tahoe PUD. She's Tahoe City, so I know what I'm talking about. It's okay. Thank you, Kim.
Okay.
All right. Currently, we have an action item here, but we do not have a motion.
Well, I'll move that we recommend to the County Board of Supervisors park dedication fees from Recreation Area Number 2, Tahoe City PUD area, in the amount of $250,000 for the Tahoe Cross Country Lodge relocation and restoration project.
I'll second.
And Ann Carpenter seconds. Any more discussion?
Okay.
Okay. Would you do a roll call, please?
Carpenter?
Yes. Richard Kapp,
Yes.
Virgil Anderson,
Yes.
James Ricker,
Yes?
Jeremy Bergman. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Jeremy McCollum.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Your motion passed, and so we will be recommending it to the County Board of Supervisors.
Great. Thank you
All right.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation.
It's a wonderful project.
Yes, a wonderful sounding project.
Auburn Recreation District, Meadow Vista baseball field improvements. All right, Sean?
Thank you again, Sean Johnson with Parks. And so we have coming up here, Mike Shield with the Auburn Recreation District. He's going to break down exactly what we're doing here at the Meadow Vista baseball field project. So right after you, Mike.
Great, thank you very much, Sean. Michael Shealy, District Landscape Architect, Project Manager for Auburn Recreation District. It's a pleasure to be in front of the commission for, I think, maybe my third time in about 7 years. My boss, Cale Muscat, couldn't make it this evening, and so I'm happy to be here to present this item. Our park dedication fee request for the Meadow Vista baseball field in the amount of $31,000. I don't have a presentation, but there's a picture of the park, and here's a drawing we put together to help convey the concept, working along with the Sierra Foothill Little League. They approached us with their desire to improve the ball field, which sorely needs improvement and has for a long time. And they offered to do some fundraising, have done some fundraising, and they have several parents of Little League players and in the community that are willing to donate work and materials towards the project. So it's basically concrete dugout areas behind the backstop, new benches for the players to sit on, a new scoreboard, an electrical connection going down the left there, ending at a spot behind the backstop where the parents can control the scoreboard, and I believe a little storage shed for equipment and such behind the backstop. There's a picture of the chosen scoreboard, and ARD has helped SFLL with the cost estimating, and we will be doing the drawings for the electrical permit and any other permit that's required of the county for the scoreboard and electrical work associated with that. And I'm just here to answer any questions anybody has.
Okay, we'll open it up to the commission first. Any questions from the commission?
So is this a kind of a standard scoreboard for the industry? Or is this something special, or?
No, I would consider it a modest scoreboard. It can be pretty fancy and huge. This is relatively small in height. It's 5 feet high, 10 feet wide. I believe it's about $11,000, and then you have to install it also as well.
So no major maintenance on this over time?
Pretty state-of-the-art, no. Solid state, that's the word I was trying to come up with. Yeah, not many moving parts on this. Electrical trench and controls behind the backstop. Pretty,
Thank you.
pretty maintenance-free.
Questions? Any questions from anybody in the audience? And how about John Bergman online? John, you have any questions?
No, I don't. I'm surprised that you're asking for this little amount. Do you think it will really handle? Oh, obviously you do. You think that this is an adequate funding. So I think it'd be great. Spend the money as fast as you can out of every zone is my motto.
Yeah, I hear you. Any project for $60,000 raises an eyebrow these days. But with the donations that we've gotten and the promised donations of labor and materials, we think we've got it covered.
Right.
Okay.
ARD will go out to bid for the electrical work on behalf of SFLL.
Okay. Sean, any comments from staff on this?
The only comment that we have is, it is, like he was saying, this is long overdue. Lots and lots of teams use this field. There is no scoreboard, so it makes it very difficult for people to track on it. So this is it is an important item for the Meadow Vista Park to get, and we fully support it.
Okay. At this point in time, we have an action item in front of us, but we do not have a motion.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve $31,000 for the Auburn Recreation Meadow Vista Baseball Field improvements, scoreboard, and what do you call that area? The dugout. I couldn't think of the word.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Ms. Dina, would you give a roll call, please?
Richard Kapp,
Yes.
Virgil Anderson,
Yes.
James Ricker,
Yes.
Jeremy McCollum.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all very much. Greatly
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Mike.
Maybe one of these days we'll go to Meadow Vista and see what they've got.
I think that would be a really good idea to put that on the next, one of the next.
I've driven
park
through
tours.
there and it's in my
Absolutely.
district, so.
We
Especially
were up
after we
there
get
last
this,
year, the year
dugout done.
before.
We'd be happy to conduct a tour
Oh, no,
with you
it should
folks
be no
anytime.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
Okay, at this moment, we're going to move to action item C, and Ted went home early tonight, but Lisa is going to pitch it for him.
Yes.
So, Lisa, park dedication fee request for Loomis
Sure.
Park North Drainage Project.
Yes, so this is the park that you just went to earlier, and you saw the drainage problems and the, which has caused erosion of the, pavement there, so they are asking for park dedication fees from area number 7, Loomis Basin, for that. This would be a capacity building project because we would be able to provide more parking, which would allow for more use of the park. And the second portion of this is for the turf renovation at Sterling Point Park. As you saw, it's one of the last ones that is not in that area that has not been switched over to the Bermuda hybrid yet. So this would be a combination of $650,000, and it would go out to bid for both the Loomis Park North parking lot overlay and to repair the parking lot drainage swale and the turf renovation at Sterling Point Park.
So just to get this straight, you are asking for $650,000.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, 650,000, and it would be used flexibly. These would go out to bid, and so the money would be used flexibly between the two to, and hopefully the bids would come in so that it wouldn't be over the 650,000.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions or discussion?
So the 650,000 is it's divided up with the 500 for the drainage, and then the Sterling Point and a restroom, right?
Not the restroom, no, that's been removed from this. So it's just for the turf renovation. It's just for Loomis Park North, and then for the turf renovation at Sterling Point Park.
So all the other picnic areas, playgrounds, that's all being scratched off.
I'm sorry, say that again, Jim?
Along the Sterling Point Park, we have one baseball, softball field. Oh, that's just what it consists of. Never mind.
Yeah, that's just a list of what's there.
Okay.
Any other questions? John, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'm looking at fund balances for number 7. And it shows cash balance 714, committed 650. Is that a different 650 than what is being requested now?
I think you're looking at an older one.
Yeah, John, we swapped out the.
Oh, I'm looking at I'm
You're looking at
sorry.
the wrong
Okay.
one, sorry.
All right. Gotcha.
We did that on purpose.
No question.
Right, so there's currently in Loomis Basin number 7, there's $716,475 with nothing committed yet.
With no commitments. Gotcha. Okay.
And I did want to show you, in case you didn't see this, because I forgot to advance the show, but this is what Ted was going to show you, where they're having trouble with folks driving off the pavement and because it is such a short amount. This is what it looks like when it's full. Remember he was telling you when it rains and it just completely fills up. And that's the affected area that we looked at where we parked and walked along that area. So both this project and the Sterling Point turf rebuild, because what happens when you put that new turf in, it's also a capacity building project also, because the turf is able to accommodate more play than your regular fescue turf. So.
And right now, it's also set up for just softball, so once we get done with it, it'll be set up for softball, soccer, other events, so.
Any other questions? Okay, we do have an action item in front of us. If somebody wants to make a motion, we could vote on it.
What is it?
I'll make a motion to recommend that the County Board of Supervisors approve a request by the Placer County Parks, Trails, and Open Space Division for park dedication fees from Recreation Area Number 7, Loomis Basin Area, in the amount of $650,000. Loomis Park North Parking Lot Overlay and Repair Parking Lot Drainage Swell as a part of the project, and then turf replacement at Sterling Point, a water conservation project.
Okay, it's been moved. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Carr has seconded. And Tracy, would you give us a roll call, please? Thank you.
Yes.
Richard Cap?
Yes.
Virgil Anderson?
Yes.
James Ricker?
Yes.
Jeremy McCollum?
Yes.
And then would you pass on to Ted that it'd be interesting for us to see what the solution is for that swale?
Absolutely. And I did want to clarify that in the action item, and it does say number 3, restroom installation at Sterling Point, but that was to be taken out of there is my understanding, because the staff report actually does not include the restroom, so it was just for the turf and for the
Okay.
parking lot.
And if that restroom rehabilitation comes up as an issue, please bring it back to us, and then we will bring it up as an action item.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Lisa, we're going to have you on again. This is item 8A, park dedication fee update, Forest Hill Conservation, conversion of 1 tennis court to 2 pickleball courts.
Okay, for those of you who have never been to the Forest Hill Memorial Hall, this is it on the inside. It is just gorgeous. I just wanted to bring that up as the entry photo for those who had never been in there before. It is lovely, and it's a great place for a wedding. It started off as an action item. This went before the Forest Hill Park Subcommittee on April 1st. Let me give you a little background. There, as you know from other areas of the county, pickleball has really skyrocketed in use. So the pickleball players number approximately 40 to 80 on any given time up there. And the tennis use has waned. And so the pickleballers came to the park subcommittee and said, hey, right now there's 2, let's see. So there's this tennis court, and this is mirrored right now by a second one. And so there's 2 tennis courts, and they're overlaid by 4 pickleball courts. But what the pickleball players are proposing is to convert that left-hand side tennis court into 2 permanent pickleball courts and get rid of the tennis lines, repaint it, so you'll have one that's dual purpose, both tennis and 2 pickleball courts on the right, and then on the left-hand side, you would have just pickleball. And so that was brought before the Forest Hill Forum on May 16th, and they, again, unanimous support in favor of using park dead fees to change over the 1 tennis court to the 2 pickleball courts and buy permanent posts and permanent nets for the pickleball courts to the tune of just $21,600. And so when I got back to the office, we looked at the budget, and we actually have enough in the project accounts there. So they have the project account, they have the park dead fee account. Both the subcommittee and the Forest Hill Forum were approved of using the $21,600 of park dead fees. But we in fact have enough money right now in the project account to do the remaining things on the park subcommittee's list. They have a wish list of items, and they total about $35,000, and there's just shy of $150,000 in the project account. So that will leave ample money over, and we don't need to go to the board at this point in time to request the park dedication fees, because there's enough in the project account. But I just wanted to apprise you of where we're at and give you a little bit of background on that, so.
Lisa, what were the projects or the project that the original project account was set up for?
We've done a lot of them. There's,
Oh, so there's some just left over and they're just still in the kitty, in the
right,
pot?
they had approved a laundry list of items, the work at the baseball fields and the Little League,
Right,
and
of course, I remember
they
those.
did, the dog park's been done, they've done pavilions and
Right, the pavilion colors.
of various things up there.
Okay.
And so they've got a few things left that they still have to do, but there's ample enough money to do both those things and the project before you, so.
Okay, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we move on to item 9, which is commissioner comments.
Yes, it was a great day today. I learned a lot, been to places I didn't know that where the heck I was, but that's okay. Wonderful parks in this county, and really enjoyed seeing them and talking with staff and commission members and getting to know everybody better. So it was a very, very good day. And pizza was good.
It was a great day. Thank you very much. I too learned a lot. I feel like every time I take those trips, I learn about things, and I've lived in this county a long time too. So appreciate you guys taking the time to take us around today.
I just reiterate that because that was a fun day and always learning about what this commission does, and it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for all your hard work. Everything's great. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
John, you have any commissioner comments from your end? Oh, your mute might be on.
I'm sorry I missed all the fun you all had today. I still have recollections of the last tour we did, walking around that granite quarry. That was fabulous.
Yeah.
So I'm sure today was just as fun.
Well, John, we did miss you, so.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway.
But we do appreciate the pizza you didn't eat.
Yeah.
It was a good tour. That's the first time I've been to that park on the north side of King Road. I've been to the south side and been to the pavilion area and on the trails, but I've never been to the north side. So that was an eye opener. So thank you for the tour. The next park commission meeting is scheduled for July 18th, 2024. And without further ado, this meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, John.